Yo, what's going on, guys? So this is going to be my review and some tips on the new Wasteland 3 DLC, the Battle of Steeltown. So I think it was $13.99, but for $19.99 you could get the expansion pass, which will give you access to this DLC and then a future DLC, which I think is a good price. I'll go into that later. So you're going to I had it for Xbox Series X, so it didn't install automatically. I had to actually go to Manage Game and then install it that way. I'll show you right here. So just real quick, you want to click on the expansion pass, manage, you own this, and then install it that way. So if anybody's having trouble starting a DLC, this is what you got to do, at least for Xbox Series X. I'm not sure about PlayStation. Alright, so I'm going to do some tips before I get into my review. The one big one that I saw is there's two achievements that are complete opposite. So you have to make up your mind in the beginning what you want to do, just so that you can stay on the same course. So you could either take out the factory members and the ghost gang guys with lethal or non-lethal rounds. Each one is a different achievement. So right in the beginning you're going to get ambushed by the ghost gang, but the only problem is you don't have access to the non-lethal weapons yet. So you kind of have to kill these guys. So I'm not sure if these guys don't count towards that achievement or not. I didn't realize it until like middle of the DLC, so I kind of screwed myself. That's why I'm giving you guys a heads up. So you have to make up your mind. So if you want to go the non-lethal route, another thing to think about is taking your companions back to Ranger HQ, which I haven't played this game in a long time. So they added a new feature, which I think is a good idea, where you could drop off the companions at this little chicken coop. The only thing here, though, is you can't drop off the toaster. Luckily, the toaster has really weak attacks, so hopefully it doesn't screw you over. And then another big tip is you'll have you have two weapon slots. You want to do one for the non-lethal and then one for lethal, because you can kill the robots and the dog robots with lethal rounds. They're actually hard to... I don't even know if you can kill the dog with the disruption ammo, which is the non-lethal ammo. And then another little thing they added on, if you could come back to the Ranger HQ, make sure to grab this little package they dropped off. It's a wizard in a knight costume with another piece of lore. Yeah, so remember, have a strong lethal weapon and then a non-lethal weapon, so you could go back and forth, because you're going to be fighting both enemies at the same time. Alright, so my first impressions were I really liked the DLC, especially for the cost. I seen another YouTuber saying he thought it was too expensive, but you're getting a whole new area, you're getting sub-areas, you're getting a brand new storyline, you're getting new weapons, new enemies, you got these non-lethal weapons, a new companion, tons of dialogue, almost too much, because I don't want to miss anything, so I exhausted all the dialogue, and there was some points where I thought it dragged on, but in the long run, I don't mind. It gives you more detail and it gets you more into that world. So even though the dialogue kind of drags on, the DLC is a really good length. It doesn't go too long. Like, I just played that Assassin's Creed Valhalla DLC, and I just wanted it to end, which you don't want. You don't want someone playing your game and just thinking about when will this be over. So I came to a resolution for the factory. I helped solve the conflict between the workers and security, and I pretty much thought it was over, and I wasn't even mad at the length. And then there was a whole nother layer, which I was surprised. Like, oh, cool. They got another area they had to go to, and then there's more to the story. It went deeper than I realized it was going to go, which was good. And if you're like me and you like these games where you get a lot of choice, and then you can see the consequences, especially in the main game. So like when you go back to downtown Colorado Springs, and then the paperboy mentions, hey, the Rangers saved Steeltown. Just little things like that I really like. So in this game you're going to get a few big choices. I would say probably two big choices. So like the first one I alluded to was the factory workers versus security. And what's cool is you don't have to pick either one. You can, but there is a little room for compromise. You can take down the leaders, if you see them as the troublemakers that are starting, all the fuss. And then later on at the end, you have a big choice that has 3 different options. I do have a problem with that one because I don't know if it was bugged or if I did something and didn't realize it. I don't want to spoil it, but you have an option to free someone, and then when I did, they attacked me, and then I had to kill them, which I didn't save enough, and I'm going to have to redo a whole section, which pisses me off. Because one of my biggest pet peeves in video games is when it's repetitive, when it makes you do the same thing over and over again. Even though they're not making me do it over again, I'm going to have to, because I'm not getting the ending I want. So I'm going to have to go back and figure out when the last time, because that's another tip, make sure you save often. I was utilizing the quick save too much and not the regular save. But the one good thing about that dialogue is I could skip it. So areas that seem like long or actually become really short when you skip all that dialogue. I'm just hoping it was either a bug or it just worked itself out when I replay it. Because I went online because I hate to just do something not knowing if it's going to get any results and I'm wasting my time. So it seems like there is a way to have come to another compromise like I did in the factory, where I could get the best of both worlds. So I'm going to try to do that later, and then I'll upload that if I can do that. But yeah, overall I'd really like the DLC. Other than that, it's just really dense with story and dialogue and little Easter eggs. So if you like the base game, I think you'll definitely like the DLC. So I recommend buying it. And the expansion pass, you might as well save a few bucks. So that's about it. I know PC got the game last week, so I'm a little late to the game here. I'm just curious what people were thinking. Usually the comments will be full of like what kind of bugs and glitches they got, which I'm usually pretty lucky. I usually don't get them that bad. But I'm more curious of what people thought of the story and the content, if they liked it or not. But just let me know what you guys thought in the comments. Other than that, that's all I got. This was just a quick down and dirty video, just trying to give you my thoughts and just let you know that it's worth picking up if you're thinking about it. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Get this done, Rangers. ASAP.